Yeah. What's going on in the world today? People fighting, feuding, looting. It's okay. Let it go. Let it flow. Let the good times roll. Tell 'em, Mikey. It ain't nothing but gaming. Mad Mikey Gaming. G'day, all you mad gamers. I'm Mad Mikey. I come from the land down under, and in today's show, you might have noticed that it was missing the intro where we sort of just give a bit of a teaser of all the news. What I'm doing from now on is I'm just going to walk through the front door with a little bit of a selfie cam going, talking about my day in the gaming news, and then we'll hopefully open a bit of a discussion. So if you guys have questions, don't forget to put the comments below and check out all my social media in the links below. Come by, talk about it, say hello, do whatever you like. We're all a friendly bunch, all the people over there. But to get everything out of the way, guys, if you like the video, I know you've got 2 thumbs, I just want 1, so don't forget to hit the like button and share, subscribe, and tell your mother, tell your brother, tell your old man, tell your sister, tell your cousin Nico, and tell all your friends about Mad Mikey Gaming, because they might like games. To start off today's news with a bit of sad news, Colin has come out and said that he is leaving Kinda Funny Games, which isn't funny at all. I really respect Colin. I love a lot of his opinions. I love the fact that he shows a lot of respect when he's interviewing developers. A couple of days ago, by the sounds of it, I hadn't heard about any of it until today. It came out and on Twitter with something controversial directed towards women, something like there ain't no women here. I don't know if it was on International Women's Day or anything. Replied very quickly saying it was a joke, but obviously guys on the internet are going to be guys on the internet, and they sort of had a bit of a go at him, obviously. The thing with Colin and Greg, I love all the guys at Kinda Funny Games. They're really each other's yin and yang. Like Colin, he's very serious. He's very sort of just politically charged, and Greg's obviously a high energy kind of guy, the goofy kind of guy. So in my opinion, they worked really well off of each other. So it's going to be sad to see him go. Whether they replace him or not, who's going to know? I hope that he finds a job elsewhere, or whether he goes back to IGN, or he's obviously made a lot of friends since they made Kinda Funny. So I really hope to see him sometime soon. And he announced on Facebook, it's with a heavy heart and great sadness that I announced my resignation from Kinda Funny, effective immediately. This morning, the guys and I had a constructive conversation and feel that with our separate visions of the future and the direction of this company, it's time to go our separate ways. So to me, I mean, look, sometimes Colin doesn't really seem like he's all there on the show. Which is fine. I mean, everybody has their off days, but he's like tired and just talking about food and everything. So I think the writing was sort of on the wall that it may have been too much for him. Greg, I'm sorry. As I said, he's a very high octane guy. He's a lovable guy. He's funny. And Colin's just sort of like that guy in the back. It's almost like Beaches. Sad to see him go, but I wish him the best for the future, although he's probably never going to watch this, let's face it. And in other news, there's going to be another Resident Evil game ported. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is right. Resident Evil Revelations is now coming to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in the fall and spring across the world, so no specific date just yet. I think they're going for some sort of world record for games ported of a series, because I don't think there was any need. Just make it backwards compatible. The game looks fine. I've got this on the Wii. I've got this on the 3DS. I actually finished it and enjoyed it quite immensely on the 3DS. The 3D on there was just amazing. I did have it on the original one, and it was a bit hard to sort of play with the sliding and everything like that. But when I got the XL, it was so much better. It was a bigger screen, and it was a lot more fun to play. I just want Resident Evil 2 and 3 to be remastered. I know they're working on it, but Jesus, just give it to me already. I want it. I don't want all these Revelations games. No, I take it back. I do like Revelations games. If you can give us a Revelations 3, that's fine. I mean, I love the Resident Evil series. I want Resident Evil 8. I want more out of Resident Evil 7. I want it all, really. So, I mean, chances are I'll probably buy it, you know. Also, news and a trailer came out for the new Final Fantasy 15 DLC, which is coming out on the 28th of this month. Gladios is getting his own standalone game play sort of thing. Actually looks really cool. Looks like it takes place sort of after the events of Final Fantasy. Just a bit of a revenge mission, if you like. I actually really like the idea of this kind of DLC being used. If you do remember back on Heavy Rain, if you did pre-order the game, you actually got a DLC called The Taxidermist, where you took the role of the... Oh, her mind is escaping. Her name is escaping my mind right now, but it was the female reporter, and you just sort of went and did an isolated story. It was really cool. From what I remember, they actually cancelled it in favor of Move. Good move, guys. But they're doing this for all the characters. They're giving them their own standalone stories where they'll actually just go out by themselves. So this is really cool. I'm not going to buy the season pass. I might actually wait and see how well it's received and everything. But if it's a must-have, it's a must-have, isn't it? I love Final Fantasy 15. I want to play and get the full experience of it. But I'm not going to pay full price for that DLC. In the last bit of news, sort of bit of news, Nintendo have identified why some people are getting lower frame rates and some sluggish sort of gameplay on their Nintendo Switches, and it apparently has to do with the Switch's Wi-Fi. Now, I did notice a bit of an issue with the Wi-Fi when I first got my Switch. It was actually quite weird when I was setting it up. It wasn't connecting to the internet, but it still did manage to download the update that I needed, which was really weird. So I downloaded that first, but then when I went to go set up the internet, it's like, there's issues. And I sort of put it down to the fact that I've got so much Wi-Fi running through this house, and the fact that I've got just the cheapo ISP provided sort of, modem. But by the sounds of it, they've identified that there is an actual issue with the Wi-Fi. You never see it at full bars. If you do, I think you'd have to be holding the Switch right up to the modem. I don't know. Even when I'm sort of sitting at the PC waiting for this to edit and everything, I don't get a full bar on there. So that's really weird. But it looks, hopefully they'll patch it in really soon and get that fixed up. It seems like that's just one of the minor problems. It just has to do with its searching capabilities. But apparently, it's affecting the gameplay and when it's docked. So it looks like it's going to be patched in the next firmware update. And just a little bit of controversy out there, which I really wasn't going to touch on, but it's all out there. Now, apparently, a guy called Jim Sterling, who has a website, gave The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild a 7 out of 10. My God, somebody's opinion is not the same as everybody else's. And I kid you not, I was on Facebook groups and I actually read this and I was like, guy, everybody's got an opinion. And if his opinion isn't the same, so be it. It's not an issue. And they're all kicking up a stink. And obviously it made gaming news. Now, apparently this guy gave No Man's Sky a 9 out of 10 and he's given Zelda a 7 out of 10. I don't think there's an issue, but apparently people, conspiracy theorists out there are saying that he's doing it to drop down the Metacritic, and that the fact that he's got some allegiance to other people, so they want to get that down as low as possible. It's one man's review. I mean, I'm loving the game. Are you loving the game? Are you loving... I know you're loving the game. You told me about it the other day. Who gives a shit about one person's opinion? Guys, if you love the game, you love the game. As a lot of websites will tell you, there's no such thing as a perfect game. These 10s are well warranted. I'm quite enjoying the game. But would I give it a 10? Probably not. I'd probably maybe give it a 9.5 or even a 9. But you haven't heard people kicking up a stink about that, have you? That is it. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments below. Come over, see me on all my social medias. I will see you on Thursday for more gaming news thoughts. You won't see me tomorrow because I'm playing basketball tomorrow. And Friday, there will definitely be a shit I'll probably never play. Until then, bye guys.